Hi there, my name is Aaron, and welcome to the Call to Comics. And today we are going to be talking about where to start at with the X Men. Now, the X Men has had a long and storied history, and for years they have been with Fox, and have recently come back into the MCU. So a lot more people are probably going to see the X Men than have ever before. And that being said, the X Men films were extremely popular back then, including the Wolverine films, and of course Logan, which was just utterly amazing. So today I decided to go into where to start with the X-Men. And normally the place that I would say to start would probably be, and I would probably just choose the omnibus for it, right here with the Giant Size X-Men #1, or basically Uncanny X-Men Omnibus Volume 1. And that is a great place to start when it comes to the X-Men. It really is. It's Chris Claremont pretty much, actually, literally doing the building blocks of the X-Men. Now, I wouldn't tell you to start with the old Stan Lee stuff, although it's really good and fun. I'll be honest with you, it didn't last that long. It lasted 60 something issues, and then it was canceled for years. It was only when the Uncanny X-Men came into it, when X-Men came back with Claremont, that it actually really became what it is today. Now, that being said, that's not where I'm going to tell you to start, because modern day X-Men and the Chris Claremont era of X-Men are very different things, actually. So normally where I'd be telling you to grab an omnibus, there's actually a book that you would have to pick up before the omnibus. And I went to my local Indiegogo, and which is a bookstore chain, kind of like Barnes & Noble in the States, and picked up something that's been out of print for a bit. Luckily, it's back in print now. The starting point for modern day X-Men. So if you want to see where X-Men are right now, you want to see like the starting point of the modern day X-Men, there is one definitive book that you have to pick up. And it's pre-omnibus or anything like that, because X-Men was done for years by Chris Claremont, and then by other people that came in, like Jim Lee did his X-Men. I think Fabian Nicieza worked on the X-Men as well. So there's Grant Morrison's X-Men was there, Josh Whedon's X-Men, all fantastic runs on X-Men. But there would only be one, in my opinion, that would really, truly reinvent X-Men for the modern generation, where it would go very far away from what it was originally. And in all honesty, it would be the X-Men run that would get people's attention again. It was a smart run. It was a really good read. And it just did amazing new things with the X-Men. And you have to understand, the X-Men was a comic that, there was the Uncanny, after the X-Men got canceled originally, there was the Uncanny X-Men, that's when it got popular. And then you had spin-offs like the Adjectiveless X-Men, which started with Jim Lee. Then you had like Wolverine, he had the spin-offs, and there's miniseries galore, and there's X-Factor, X-Force, Excalibur. There's a whole ton of them out there. But one guy came along and was able to just take the X-Men, revitalize them, rejuvenate them, and make them seem new again. And that guy was Jonathan Hickman. So the book that you're looking for is this one right here. So House of X it's actually two books. It's two miniseries. It's House of X, which ran for 6 issues, and it's Powers of X. Now, House of X and Powers of X is the restart of the X-Men. Basically, you can come in here and start reading the X-Men, and you're good. You don't have to. I would recommend reading some of the back stuff, but you don't have to. Jonathan Hickman's stuff is really, really well done. And basically, for like the last so many odd years, X-Men was all about like the persecution of the X-Men, and it was, it was kind of like a parallel, like in the 60s, it was parallel basically to what was going on in civil rights and issues like that. This Jonathan Hickman takes this into some really different, unique aspects. And if you're kind of wondering what the new big Marvel event is going to be, which is Secret Wars in 2024, then the new Avengers films, Jonathan Hickman was the mind behind that as well. And but this is probably one of the things that he's most known for, most credited for. So what you're going to want is you're going to want to get this, and this is the House of X, Powers of X. It is a great, fairly inexpensive mini, like double mini series. So you're going to get 12 issues altogether, but it's really going to reinvent the X-Men for you. You're going to get X-Men done in uniquely different ways. The artwork on here is fantastic. I think we're Jose Larraz on here, so let's just check to see. Pepe Larraz. So we got Pepe Larraz. I apologize if I get the names wrong. Marte Garcia. Some amazing stuff. RB Silva works on this, and the artwork on here is utterly phenomenal. Now, one thing to know and to note right away is that Jonathan Hickman really does his stuff like an actual book. His books, his omnibuses will be done in a way that it'll be mapped specifically for the reader. So if you're wondering, okay, how am I going to go in this? How am I, because some omnibuses you get, I got Absolute Carnage omnibus, and one of the things is that you can read all Absolute Carnage together, and then afterwards there's all the offshoots and stories in between. So you've got to go online and look for, like, okay, how does this get mapped? Well, how do I read this? But with this here, like House of X, Powers of X, it's in the correct reading order. John Hickman is really, really a huge part when it comes to putting out the books, the design of the books. They all have these kind of like these X designs on each of these here. You'll always see this here kind of John Hickman's kind of house style. Got my Newfoundland accent going through right now. A second ago. It'll be broken up like this into usually into chapters, and then it'll go right directly and into the story right there. It's a fantastic read. Now, after you buy this and you read this, and you're like, I want more, because you will. Then what you're going to be looking to pick up is right up here. It's actually fairly inexpensive to pick up too, especially right now. Jonathan Hickman, X-Men by Jonathan Hickman. So it's the omnibus, and you would think that they would have included the House of X, Power of X in here, but nope, they did not. So you do have to pick up the book that I was holding in my hand to show you guys before you read this. Definitely 100% before you read this. You can read through Jonathan Hickman stuff without reading any of the offshoots, because there was like other stories. There's X-Men Pirates. I'm not joking. And some very cool things that's done. But you want to get the House of X, Power of X graphic novel first. Then you pick up X-Men by Jonathan Hickman. And I would say if you're going to pick up anything else to go along with this, then I would say that you want to pick up Ten of Swords, which is not an omnibus. And that will complete your entire X-Men, your Jonathan Hickman X-Men run. So you want you get the House of X, Power of X, you want the Jonathan Hickman X-Men like omnibus, and you want Ten of Swords crossover event that he did for X-Men, and that's pretty much it. That's all you really need to have the entire run of Jonathan Hickman for there. Of course, he invented things like that became extremely popular, like the Hellfire Gala and all that stuff, and you will get to see a lot of that stuff in the more modern X-Men. But here you go. Here's your start. It's this one here is $56.99 in Canada, and it is $44.99 in the United States. So I'm guessing maybe even less in the UK. But this is your start right here. If you really enjoy this, you want to go back and check out the original X-Men stuff, then I would say start with Uncanny X-Men Volume 1, Volume 3 is the best of all the Uncanny X-Men volumes. Volume 1 is where you need to start because it's obviously the beginning for Uncanny. But if you want to go look into basically, as they say right here, the next great evolution of the X-Men, because it really is, then this is what you're looking for. This has been Aaron in the Cult of Comics, and I hope I've helped you out when it comes to the X-Men, because I'm holding right here your starting point. And if you check it out, let me know what you think.